All right, check it out. I just gotta know, like, how in the world did we get here? Like, how in the world did it come to this where we as a people, no matter what your politics are regarding immigration policy in this country, how did we as a people who bear the name of Jesus get to a place where we stand idly by and remain silent when we watch men in tactical gear with no identification, no declarations, and no body cams for accountability just storm into neighborhoods and apartment complexes in major cities across the country like it's some kind of video game or weird version of Call of Duty? I mean, I'm watching doors being kicked in, families being dragged out, no warrants, no explanations, just bodies on pavement, zip-tied in the street, loaded into trucks like they're cargo or something. And these people have no clue where or for how long they'll be detained. And then people that we know and love, that we sit beside in Sunday school week in and week out, like our friends and family and neighbors and co-workers, they see these videos and they stand up and cheer like somebody just scored a touchdown at a football game. Simultaneously, while all this is going on, our leaders and institutions are posting hype videos with music and edits and patriotic slogans of all this happening, like this is something we're supposed to celebrate as a society. And all the while, these same people who are cheering are wearing crosses around their necks. They're filling the pews of the churches on Sundays. They're singing about amazing grace and they're posting Bible verses on their social media. Like, I'm even watching people that I know and love share the videos of these institutions that have hijacked our sacred scriptures to accompany B-roll of unprovoked violence that's transpiring in our own backyards. So I gotta ask, like, what scriptures are we reading? And I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just saying, like, the Jesus that I know, he didn't kick down doors. He literally dined with the very people that the empire called dangerous. He didn't zip tie the vulnerable, he healed them. He didn't mock the oppressed, he defended them. In fact, there were specific times where Jesus even stood in the way of those in power seeking to leverage the law to condemn the guilty, even when they believed that they had just cause. So no, I don't think you get to wave the banner of Jesus while applauding and celebrating blatant cruelty. You just don't. Like, you don't get to call yourself a follower of Jesus and simultaneously rejoice when families are being torn apart, when kids are on video screaming on sidewalks, when moms are being taken outside of courthouses, mind you, while they're attempting to plead for asylum and do things the way the law instructs. You don't get to call it law and order when the law itself has become a weapon to be used against the vulnerable. This isn't Christianity. It's nationalism and it's allegiance to, like, the empire dressed up in religious language. And it makes me so flippin' upset, like deep to my core, to think that this is what people now picture when they hear the word Christian. See, I'm so frustrated because they don't picture the Jesus who wept over the plight of his friend. They don't picture the Jesus who welcomed children when others were shunning them. They don't picture the Jesus who broke bread with the outcast. Instead, they're scrolling through TikTok. And when they think of Christian, they picture this. And I know some of you are thinking, like, come on, dude, like, just stick to doing videos about faith, hope, and love and leave the politics alone. See, I can't do that anymore. I just can't. Because here's what I'm learning. I'm learning that based on what I'm seeing literally every single day, this isn't about politics. This is about people. I mean, you guys have the same phone I got. You're seeing the same things that I'm seeing. You're scrolling past the same videos that I'm scrolling past of people being yanked from their homes and cars like there's some kind of major threat. Not because it's clear that they've broken the law, because in many cases that's not the situation that we're seeing, but it's because they're suspected of such, because they speak another language, or because their skin color is brown. And I gotta ask, like, have we really become so numb? Have we gotten so used to cruelty that we confuse it with justice, no, I can't stay silent anymore. I just can't. I can't be quiet, specifically when the name of Jesus, the name that I love, is being lifted high by the very people who are publicly and privately justifying this current reality. And look, if your theology leads you to cheer when families are broken apart, if your patriotism silences your compassion, and if your Christianity makes you less like Christ, then I think it's high time that you start asking exactly what it is that you're following. Because it's certainly, and let me make it abundantly clear, it is certainly not Jesus. Not the Jesus I read about. Not the Jesus that I know. Not the Jesus who brings with him abundant life and salvation and hope and healing and grace. It's not the Jesus who sees the stranger and says, whatever you did for the least of these, that's what you did for me. Because I think that if Jesus were here in 2025, I think he'd stand in between the Latino man on the corner and the masked ICE agent running towards him. And I think he'd say something like this: let he who is without sin zip tie the first wrist. Because this isn't the behavior of Jesus. This is the behavior of empire. And those two worldviews, they don't mix. Food for thought.